Okay, we're live New Year's Eve. We're here with King Vision Ultra. Yes. Sing it 2020.
Yeah. 2020, big black.
Yeah.
But New Year's Eve. Let's get it.
Okay, so I'm asking everyone their reflections on the year that was, creatively for you personally, but globally, the whole thing. What are your feelings?
My feelings are basically just a lot of things I'm too tired to express at the moment. and probably won't have the energy till give me another year or two to rest up.
Yeah.
But
okay.
yeah, but no, I think there was, I think the idea or the feeling from the year has really just been, there's a lot more work to do collectively, and also, well, let's just stick to that collectively. I'll go with that. Yeah, there was a lot of learning. That's cool, but I think execution and sort of pushing to the, to open the new pathways or whatever in the conversation is where we got to be at next. You know what I mean? As far as like, kind of like anything we're talking about, really, because like, yeah, I've seen a lot of people get deaded. I've seen a lot of people get canceled. I've seen a lot of people talk about abolishing this and that, but I'm not trying to, come off on any sort of defeatist note, but I think what's important is we think about what the next step is in those conversations, past the initial reactionary or the response chapter of those conversations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing. It goes towards how do people deal with the crisis, and how do we communicate, and how did we get to that crisis, and what role did communication or non-communication or failure communication or things. I mean, things were being communicated pretty clearly by certain people, just in who they decided to support or what kind of issues they wanted to like throw their weight behind.
Right.
And it showed to me where they're coming from, kind of on a human level. You can't hide.
Right.
Are you hiding in the bathroom right now?
Yeah, I'm hiding in the bathroom, and it's a dog. There's a dog in view. Now we just got a dog named Booster, or Booster Pack, and that's the big 2021 and furthermore energy.
Yeah. Well, I was going to
This
ask,
guy.
what are your feelings about what do you want to take into 2021, and how do you want to, I don't know, use the hard lessons we learned in 2020, if we learned them, where's that going to take us ideally?
For sure. I mean, I definitely want to say that, like, I think 2021 and just the following, the years after that, or the future, basically holds a lot of potentials, and that's just what I want to lean toward. You know what I mean? I don't really want to get on some energy of like I said, I don't want to think that this was just a dumpster fire and we all gotta kind of wallow in that feeling, so to speak. There were a lot of positives in 2020. There were a lot of things that were realized, and a lot of, like I said, a lot of like self-learning, a self sort of the grounding, and then the reminding, and then the re-actualizing, I guess you could say, or the self-actualizing that then comes from that. A lot of so-called a lot of creation actually really happened in the face of all the everything else. So
I have to say,
super thankful about that.
I have to say I was impressed with the output of a lot of people who I felt like brought some really important work, yourself included. You and Amani's thing was amazing. Like, so many people just came out with just potent stuff. And you have to believe. I mean, I know a lot of these people were at that place already. They didn't need 2020 to tell them that the world is on fire and fucked and has been.
Exactly.
So it was kind of just, yeah, it was what we needed, creative voices like that, communicating those kind of ideas and also challenging everyone in a very challenging year already. We're not off the hook.
Right.
Because it's January 1st. We're not off the hook. We got work to do.
Job. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just because just because this guy is out the spotlight or out the house or whatever, whatever vote result occurs,
Yeah.
in terms of administration and whatnot of this of this space, then there's there's a lot more that we still have to yeah, and there's just a lot more shit to sort of dig through and whatnot, and it's not just as easy as the simplest answer is to kind of lean toward the I went outside and did this thing and that's that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as simple as just like donating money and being like, hey, I ticked all the boxes and I'm good to go or whatever. And that's that's basic shit though. And like you said, like, it didn't take a fucked up year with a pandemic and reminders of the injustices and just foulness of this country, and also just like certain systems that run through the world, to be like, oh, the world is fucked or whatever, or the world has like some evil in it. Like, this shit been around. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't really anything new, so to speak, in that regard. So, I just want to not encapsulate it all into just 2020 being fucked up and blah blah blah, because that's not. It's no year has ever been perfect, and I mean, and no year ever will be perfect too either. But what we can look forward to is just further pushing forward and having these conversations, and looking forward to having conversations with each other, and creating more, building more, making more space, respecting more space, you know what I'm saying? Like, and policing our own spaces in a way that's, finding a new language around what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, creating a new language as to what, like, policing our spaces, endeavors or whatever. So, like, yeah. Well, I think entails rather.
Yeah, that loops back to the main thing, the communication issue.
Right.
Language, how we speak to each other, how we speak about the world around us and the dynamics around us, how we recognize things that people were happy to ignore, for as long as they possibly can, because it makes them uncomfortable to have to deal with those realities and deal with communication and some of the blunt truths that we just have to deal with, like the curse of America, which is this year is just it's a pretty blatant demonstration of where the trajectory that we've been on this whole time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so now, we have to ask ourselves, what can we do as artists, as movers, as activists, as people just in the world, human beings, to really start bending things in the right direction.
Right.
Putting working smarter rather than working harder, all this, cliche, but it's true. Like, you
actual
just have
fact.
to, like, really think.
Yeah. No, actual fact. It's and a lot of that shit starts with like how we interact with each other, as we've been saying, and how we creating our new language, you know what I mean? And I mean, like, a language of space, and a language of like what roles we actually do play, and Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot in terms of like liberation technology, as far as like, um, or like, yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot to be said about all the shit. It's
I,
getting my
yeah,
like. We don't have enough time for that,
I
but
know. We could talk. We know that you can elucidate on the subjects all night, deep into next New Year's Eve. But that was beautiful. I want to leave it. What do you say? Liberation technology.
what's up? Say again?
You said something about liberation technology,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
like.
I mean, I think it's just what it's all of what is like encapsulated in that action or in the act of. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
um, it doesn't just mean going out and, you know, quote unquote fucking shit up, or um being loud, make your voice be heard, or whatever. It's this, and there's other ways to make your voice be heard, you know, as we've hopefully discovered.
yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, liberation technology. That's not my quote by any means, you know what
I
I mean?
know. I like that term. I like that idea too,
Yeah,
because it's like it's what we have to use everything at our disposal towards liberation ultimately.
facts, facts,
All right.
indeed. Yeah,
On that note, happy New Year to you. You had
yeah, man.
other final messages for the family, the mutants of the world.
uh yeah, I mean, you know, love each other, love yourself, all that good stuff. And I don't know, just whatever. I look forward to seeing how things form in the next few months or in the next year or so, and hopefully can be back in spaces with people, and
Mhm.
you know, be having a good old time with everybody,
Yeah,
and giving out hugs, giving hugs, you know, post COVID era hugs.
yeah, yeah. Which are going to be amazing hugs. I can imagine.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be the strongest of hugs.
yeah. So tell us who you are and what are we watching?
Yeah, no, indeed. This is Gang PTP, aka King Vision Ultra, reporting live from Jackson Heights, Queens, and we are watching Noise TV. I want my NTV, baby.
Yeah.